Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Grace Regato softball field on the complex of Babe Ruth. St. Mary's in their last bastion for the season. This is their last regular season game. They will certainly be playing in the state tournament. If they're not number one in their division, they'll be certainly up and among the top 2 or 3. They'll be back here for a home game, maybe 2 in the tournament, depending how many teams qualify. They're taking on Newton South. And Newton South needs a win today in their final game of the season to make the state tournament. There's a possibility they could get in under that stupid Sullivan rule. They play in a very tough league. It's always difficult to judge teams in a tournament based on their record because you never know what kind of league they play in. We know what kind of league St. Mary's plays in because we see them play. That noise you're hearing in the background, that's the drum and bugle corps. They're getting ready. I'm assuming that they're having competition at Manning Field coming up. So they're here, and you're going to hear that all the way through. St. Mary's plays their tape recordings most of the time, but you're going to hear the drums and the banging and all that stuff going on all the time. They're practicing right behind the backstop. They couldn't have found a worse spot. They could have gone way over in the parking lot, but they didn't. Little, the center fielder, will lead off for Newton South against Angela Pepe on the mound. Fishing wide for a ball. St. Mary's 16-3, having a great season. In for a strike. They may have been nipped in the Catholic Central League by Austin Prep. I'm not sure. Hit foul out of play. It's a very young St. Mary's team. Off speed, good pitch, but it stayed high. Just missed. Good idea by Pepe. Pepe and Newhall give St. Mary's a terrific 1-2 punch. Hit foul out of play. Waves at that pitch for strike 3. Rodriguez, the left fielder, will be the hitter. Hitting from the left side. In for a strike. Newhall is a freshman. I believe Pepe is a sophomore. Wide for a ball. In for strike 2, 1-2. High for a ball. The count evens at 2. The 2-2 pitch up and coming. Miss wide for a ball. So we go full for the first time in the game. Pepe will deliver the payoff pitch. High and tight for a ball. So Rodriguez becomes the first base runner in the ball game. Wilbur Thayer, the shortstop. We don't have first names. I apologize for that, but we have their last names. Squares the bunt, takes the pitch high for a ball. Everybody charging. Niccolo, the left fielder, coming in to cover third base. Shortstop going to second, second to first, third first charging. Take it down and in. She squared to bunt again. Two the count to the Newton South shortstop. High for a ball. In for a strike. As you would expect, Wilbur Thayer taking all the way. She may be looking again with the count 3-1. Up and away for ball 4. So after a strikeout, back-to-back walks, put 2 on with 1 out for Newton South. The pitcher, Penton, can help herself. Solid shot, way out in front. Pulled it well foul. Hit it hard. It's surprising after 2 straight walks, Penton would jump on the first pitch. The off-speed pitch out in front. Nice pitch again by Pepe. Changed up. Penton out in front. Just got a piece and fouled it off. As quickly as 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Right in on the hand. She swung right through it. Those last 2 pitches, very good by Pepe. Klebnik, the catcher, will be the hitter. Good pitch for a strike. High for a ball. The 1-1 pitch up and coming. Lays off as the pitch was high again, 2-1. In for a strike, and we got our first deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Here in the top of the first. Thought about it, held up as it broke high and away. So the runners will be off with the pitch as the count is 3-2. To payoff pitch, high for ball 4. So 3 walks have loaded the bases for Newton South. Frasika, the third baseman, will be the hitter. We're going to run it for the catcher at first base. In for a strike. Friedman is the runner at first for the catcher. 2 quick strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air behind first base. Out of play, foul. Here's a nice shot. DiBiase ran all the way over the fence. Didn't get it. The fan chasing the ball down was standing right next to it. DiBiase reached for the ball. He threw it to somebody else. Pitch went high for a ball. 1-2 the count to the Newton South third baseman. She got hit with the pitch, and that's going to give Newton South the lead. She had her 2 strikes. She winds up hitting her. Easy way to get an RBI. The bases are still loaded. Wide for a ball. Roshan, the first baseman, is the hitter. He's the 7th hitter in the inning. They don't have a hit, but they got a run on the bases loaded with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Swing and a miss again. So once again, Pepe's out front. She's been out front a couple of times in this inning and wound up losing the hitters. Just missed outside, 1-2. A rare Sunday afternoon. This was supposed to be played tonight under the lights, but rain is predicted, so they moved it up to 1 o'clock. Strike 3 called. So Pepe strikes out the side, but in between, 3 walks and a hit batsman. So without a base hit, Newton South gets on the board. The hit batsman with the bases loaded brings the run in. And before Penton throws a pitch, she's got a 1-0 lead, starting the bottom of the first inning. For St. Mary's, Christina Nowicki, the center fielder, will lead off. Felicia D'Alessandro will play second and bat second. Sam Porozinski will bat third and play short. In the cleanup spot is a designated player, Talia Smaller. She's hitting for Julia Nicolo in left field. The right fielder, Marina DiBiasio, will hit number 5. Batting sixth and playing first base is Taylor Sullivan. Katie O'Neill will bat seventh and play third. Catching and batting eighth is Jordan Sullivan. And bring up the tail end of the batting order. Batting number 9 is Angela Pepe, the pitcher. So Newton South grabs a 1-0 lead. 3 walks, and then Frasika got hit by the pitch with the count 1-2. And St. Mary's will have to go to work. Christina Nowicki will look to get it started. She's part of the basketball team that won North Division Eastern Mass Championship and then went to the state final. High for a ball. In for strike, he was the count at 1. Wide for a ball. This is tune-up actually for St. Mary's. They get to play in June because it won't be long before they'll be starting the state tournament. Waved at that pitch that was down and away. 2-2 the count to the Spartan center fielder. This being Sunday, pairings will come out probably Tuesday. St. Mary's could play as early as Thursday, or if there's less than 16 teams, they could draw a bye, hit foul to the backstop, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Hit foul again. Good at bat by Nowicki, whatever she does. Hanging tough. Making Penton throw some pitches. Swing and a miss. One up, one down for Felicia D'Alessandro, the second baseman. Swing and a miss. Down and away for a ball. Penn's a little bit tall. She got that big bushy hair cropped up in the back of her head. She can bring it. She got a little bit of mustard on her pitch. Swing and a miss. Popped up. Nice play by the first baseman. Rosenhan coming in, reached down below her knee, around the ankle, made a nice running catch going towards home plate. Very nice defensive play. 2 up, 2 down for Sam Porosinski, the shortstop. Hit foul out of play. Did miss by much, 1-1. Hit behind shortstop, going back on the edge of the outfield grass. Off the shortstop's glove. Porosinski will reach on the air. The shortstop had it. The left fielder almost caught the carom. Off the shortstop's glove, Porosinski will reach on the error. Talia Smaller will be the hitter with the runner at first base. Shortstop went back 4 or 5 steps, maybe a little bit further on the outfield grass. Reached, had it. Bounced off her glove. Hit behind second base. Nice play by the second baseman, Denninger. She went backpedaling, reached over her shoulder, made a nice play. 2 nice defensive plays in the infield. So the error doesn't hurt. St. Mary's is down in the first. We finished an inning here. Newton South 1, St. Mary's nothing. 8-9-1 for Newton South as we start the second inning. Rosenhan, you make a nice defensive play, you lead off the inning. She made a nice little running catch at first base, stretching as far as she could, picking it off virtually her shoe tops, running towards home plate. Made a nice defensive play. So she'll lead it off. High and tight for a ball. Up and away for a ball. High again for ball 3. Pepe's having a little bit of trouble here in the early going, finding her rhythm. And that's ball 4. Fourth walk given up by Pepe. We've only played an inning. Denninger, the second baseman, she made a nice little play going, backpedaling, reaching over her shoulder, and picking that little tap by Smaller. Could have been a base hit. It would have been at least first and third, maybe second and third. Instead, it was 3 outs. Gets the bunt down. Pepe will play it. Safe at first base. They threw the ball high. D'Alessandro came off the base. The error. So right away, Newton South has got 2 more on. The error on the pitcher. She lobbed it high. D'Alessandro had to go up to get it, and it came down off the bag. So Newton South threatening again with 2 on with nobody out. Top of the order, Little struck out swinging her first trip. Long conference on the mound. Umpire coming out to break it up. Always happens just before the umpire gets there, they break it up. So walk and an error. 2 on, nobody out in the second inning. Newton got around the first without a base hit. In for a strike. Little squaring to bunt, everybody moving. Wiki, the center fielder, coming in to cover second base. They get the bunt down, and they throw it away. So open the closet door, whatever can fall out on St. Mary's head is falling out. Second error in the inning. South scores the second run without a base hit. They have runners at first and third with nobody out. Another long conference on the mound. Rodriguez, the left fielder, was the hitter. She walked and scored the run in the first inning. I know St. Mary's got here. The game was supposed to start at 1 o'clock. They were here early. They worked out. They did everything they had to do, and they got ready, and then they had to hang around because Newton South was late getting here. I don't know if they kind of lost the little edge they might have had to put on for themselves before the game, but whatever it is, it's almost becoming contagious. In for a strike as Little goes to second base. Takes it high for a ball. With these hitters squaring to bunt, I don't know if that's causing some problems for Pepe, because when they square the bunt, she's not throwing strikes. She did that time. High for a ball. So using small ball in this inning, the walk, the bunt to move the runner over was thrown away. The run scores. Then another bunt out in front. The ball got thrown away. Hit to center field. Nowicki comes on and makes the play. They hold the runner at third very smartly. Nowicki threw it right on the money at home. That's the first out that's not a strikeout. Wilbur Thayer, the shortstop, drew a walk in the first inning. Gets the bunt down, safe at the plate. perfect bunt by Thayer. First and third again with one out. Penton, the pitcher, struck out swinging. She squares the bunt. Takes the pitch high. The runner goes to second base. So one ball hit the center field. Everything else has been bunts, along with the leadoff walk. Pitching wide for a ball. Hit out of play, foul. The 2-1 pitch up and coming. Hit back to the mound. They throw it home. Out at the plate. Nice job, Sullivan, getting the tag down. So again, it's first and third, this time with two outs. Klebnik drew a walk. Her walk loaded the bases. And they fake a bunt so the runner can go to second base. Nobody covering second. So second and third now with two outs. Down and away for a ball. Missing up and away again. And that's ball four. Klebnik draws her second walk. The bases are loaded. This was a scenario in the first inning. Bases loaded. With two outs. Fashika was the hitter. She got hit by a pitch. And we get a runner again for the catcher. Up and away for a ball. In for a strike. 1-1. Style to pull the trigger, held up in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. In for a strike. And we got deuces wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Inning number 2, 2 runs in this inning. So again, deuces all over the place for Newton South. Hit foul off the fence that protects the Newton South dugout. So we'll do it again at 2-2. Alessandro will make the play over to Taylor Sullivan. So they had 7 hitters hit in the top of the first. They have 8 hitters hit in the second. 2 more walks. 2 big errors. Again, they don't get a base hit, but they score 2 runs. So Shamira's got a little deeper hole to dig themselves out of. They trail it now 3-0. They got plenty of time left, but they got to go to work. 5, 6, and 7. Marina DiBiasio, Taylor Sullivan, Katie O'Neill to face Penton on the mound. Before she threw a pitch in the first inning, she had a 1-0 lead. Now, before she throws a pitch in the second, they've given her 2 more to work with. I'm still wondering where football season went, where basketball and hockey went, and we're through the softball season, the regular season. They'll be sitting down, I believe, Monday night, getting together and putting together the pairings and the seedings. They'll come out either Tuesday or Wednesday. So I would think either Thursday or Friday, teams will be going to work again. Marina DiBiasio, very good hockey player. She's only a sophomore. This is a very young St. Mary's team. High for a ball. High again, 2-0. In for a strike. 2 on the count to the Spartan right fielder. Popped up to the shortstop. Wilbur Thayer a couple of steps to her right. Picks it off for the first out. Taylor Sullivan, the first baseman, will be the hitter. She's got a couple of big bombs that she hit this year. One here and one on the road. Gets under that one, hits it a mile up in the air to right field. Flint, the right fielder, comes in and makes the play, so 2 quick outs. Katie O'Neill, the third baseman, will be the hitter. In for a strike. Down the way for a ball. Slice foul out of play. Another strikeout, her second. A 1-2-3 inning for Penton. First 2 innings belong to Newton South thanks to walks and errors given by St. Mary's. St. Mary's being very gracious hosts. We finished 2. Newton South 3. St. Mary's nothing. Bottom 3 in the order for Newton South as we start the 3rd inning. Rosenhan, the first baseman, was called out on strikes. Her 1 trip. Newton South has drawn 5 walks and a hit batsman. 1 of the walks scored. The hit batsman forced in a run. 3 of the walks set up the 1 run in the first inning. The 1 walk that scored led off the 2nd inning. High for a ball. High again. I could be way off base, but it appears as though Pepe is concentrating more on what the batter is doing than the Jordan Sullivan's glove that she's supposed to be throwing to. Again, squaring the bunt, the pitch is high for a ball. The idea is throw the strike, let them bunt if they want to bunt. The defense is there, squeezing in. On 4 pitches, Rosenhan draws a walk. 2nd inning in a row, a walk aside the inning. Flint drew the walk to start the 2nd inning and came around to score on a couple of errors. Let's see if she squares the bunt. Does. It's in for a strike. It was out of the strike zone, but plate umpire said Flint offered at it, so it's 2 strikes. I think we're going to get Lily Newhall warming up. Hit, that took a really bad hop. That's a base hit. Poor Ziski went down to get that one. I don't know if it hit a rut, hit something. It popped right up and hit her in the chest. So Flint gets a base hit. That's the first hit for either team. And for the 2nd inning in a row, they have 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Denninger laid down a bunt, and she reached when it got thrown away. She'll sacrifice and move the runners up. She hit it to Pepe before, but the throw to first was high. And Denninger beat it. The error. Running up and try to bunt that pitch way away, little, the center fielder. She struck out swinging. She batted lefty. Now she's going to switch around and bat righty. She bunted the last time up. And the throw to first base was thrown in the outfield. High for a ball. I thought they might be bunting again. They've been very successful. Nice stop by Jordan Sullivan. High for a ball. And that's ball 4. So for the 3rd inning in a row, Newton South has the bases loaded. Rodriguez walked, fly to center field. In for a strike. Newton South trying to add to their 3-0 lead here. They finally got a base hit. It was a ground ball to short that just exploded, hit something and bounced up and got Porozinski in the chest. Hit in a right field for a base hit. They waved the runner home and then held her up. So Rodriguez gets a base hit and an RBI. Bases are still loaded. Wilbur there, the shortstop, walked. She laid down a bunt, turned into a fielder's choice when he went for the runner at the plate, and it didn't get her. So Thayer got an RBI. Nice stop by Jordan Sullivan. Up and away for a ball. Bilal was the hitter, got talked to by the third base coach. Wide for a ball. Pepe just has not found her rhythm. And that's ball 4. Thayer will get her second easy RBI. Paige Licata comes out. I know Lily Newhall is warming up. Pepe takes her mask off. I think she's all done. Now she puts it back on, maybe not. Three walks in the first, 2 walks in the second, 3 walks in the third. I think it's Lily Newhall coming in to pitch. St. Mary's put themselves really in a hole. Newton South has scored in every inning. They lead 5-0. Still only 1 out and the bases loaded. Lily Newhall will try to put out the fire. Lily Newhall will be the new pitcher. Comes in a tough situation. Bases loaded, 1 out. Penton, the pitcher, is struck out. And she tried to bunt in a run. They threw the runner out at the plate. She reached on the fielder's choice. So she's 0 for 2 facing Newhall for the first time. Hit up in the air, out of play. We gotta get hit right on top of the St. Mary's dugout. Two quick strikes. Nowicki comes in and makes the play. They're not going to try and score. Now they're going to try and score as the throw got away. So another error. The ball skipped past Sullivan. So they keep graduating. They got 1 in the first, 2 in the second. They got 3 here in the third. In for a strike. That's an unearned run, but it's credited to Pepe. Fishing for a ball. Off the backstop, safe at the plate. And the runner coming home, Rodriguez, banged up her foot or her leg. Newton South batted 7 in the first, got a run. They batted 8 in the second, got 2. Klebnik, who's up at bat, is the 8th hitter in the inning for Newton South, and they put 4 more on the board, and they're leading St. Mary's 7-0. And they have a runner at third with 2 outs. They've made 3 errors in the game. Errors have been big. And that run is charged to Pepe as well. Another unearned run. Nowicki made the good throw home, but it shot hopped and just skipped past Sullivan. And the runner took off and scored when it went to the backstop. Now the wild pitch brings in another one. Swing and a miss. Down and in for a ball. Three-two the count. Klebnik, the hitter, was walked twice. Hit foul to the backstop. Up and away for ball 4. Third walk, Klebnik loads the bases again. Frosika is the 9th hitter in the inning. She got hit by a pitch, getting an RBI, grounded out second to first. 9 walks. That's the first by Newhall. Up and away for a ball. So Newton South, with a loss, would have been 8-10, and we've been hoping to maybe back into the tournament. Instead, they may be playing their way into the tournament, finishing up dead even, getting their 9th win. They're certainly on their way to it. St. Mary's going to have to have a historic turnaround here. They have to worry about being mercy ruled. Hit foul off the fence that protects the Newton South dugout. Well, that drum and bugle corps is just relentless. They just keep going. Waved at that pitch. It was in the dirt. They have to throw her out at first. So they finally end the inning. They got 2 hits, their first 2 hits in the inning. Four walks. Yet another error. So Pepe goes 2 1/3 innings. Gives up all 7 runs. Gives up the 2 base hits. Struck out 3 in the first inning. Walked 8. Four of the walks scored. Hit a batter that brought in a run. So each and every inning, Penton taking the mound has had a bigger lead. She led 1-0. 3-0 starting the second. Now she leads 7-0 starting the third. Newton South has batted around 3 times in the first 3 innings. All their hitters have batted 3 times. St. Mary's has the 8th and 9th hitter leading off, and this will be their first at bat. They haven't gone through the lineup once yet. They've got 1 base runner, an error that reached. Otherwise, Penton's been perfect. She's retired 6 out of 7, 4 in a row. And she'll face 8, 9, and 1. Jordan Sullivan, Lily Newhall, Christina Nowicki, starting the bottom of the 3rd inning. This is not the way St. Mary's wanted to go into the state tournament on a downer. Sullivan loves that high pitch. She started to go through, just held up. They checked with the base umpire, said no, didn't swing. Thought about it, started to, just able to hold up on a high pitch. In for a strike. Last time we were here, Taylor Sullivan, we told you hit it over the left center field fence. Jordan Sullivan followed. They both hit 2-run home runs. 1-2 the count quickly. Penton moves it around. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Penton. 2nd in a row. She ended the the second with a strikeout. She starts the 3rd. Lily Newhall will be the hitter. Up and away for a ball. Swing and a miss. Down and in for a ball. Good pitch on the corner for a strike. 2-2 the count. Pitcher against pitcher here. Hit foul off the backstop. We'll do it again at 2-2. Nice little crowd around the outfield fence, around the left field fence, behind third base, on a rare Sunday afternoon game. St. Mary's probably wishes this game was played tonight at 7 o'clock now. Hit foul again. It was supposed to be played at 7, and the weather report says rain tonight. So they said we want to beat the weather, so we'll play at 1 o'clock. And actually didn't start till probably closer to 1:30 by the time Newton South cut here. Swing and a miss. She had 2 strikeouts coming in at the end of 2. She gets 2 strikeouts the first 2 hitters, starting the third. Christina Nowicki struck out swinging her 1 trip. Wide for a ball. Swing and a miss. Newton South must play in a very tough league because Fenton looks tough on the mound, and Newton South is 8-9. Hit off the third baseman. Nowicki will reach. They throw the ball away. It would have gone away. She might have gone to second base. But it hit Nowicki and stayed there. It was going to go, that throw was going to go down the line. The right fielder was nowhere near the ball. Nowicki could have run forever, but it hit her and died right there. So Nowicki reaches on the error. Second base runner by error. Felicia D'Alessandro popped to the first baseman. That was Rosehan making that nice running catch. Nowicki takes off and goes to second base with the stolen base. Rosehan running towards home plate, stretched as far as she could, and picked it off right around her ankle or her shoe tops for a very nice defensive play to get D'Alessandro. We don't know whether it would have been a hit or not. It might have bounced and gone foul, but she made sure it didn't because she caught it. Paige LaCar is going to talk to her hitter. It brings up a little confab on the mound for Newton South. So the wheel's turning on both sides. Newton South got a break, as we mentioned. That third baseman made the throw. Threw it way wide of first base. It was going to go out way beyond right field, beyond the foul line, and go down the right field line. Nowicki would at least go to third base, maybe score on the play, because the right fielder wasn't anywhere near and wasn't even chasing when the ball was thrown away. But when Nowicki, they throw it away, and Nowicki's going to score. So Newton South threw it around. Nowicki steals third and scores on the throwing error. So she manufactures a run, reaches on the error, steals second, steals third, scores on the throwing error. And St. Mary's gets on the board. Chased that high, pitched and swung through it. So St. Mary's steals a page from Newton South, faking the bunt, and then sending the runner. In on the hands, she swung through it. Hit in the air, just out of the reach of the shortstop. D'Alessandro gets a base hit. First hit for the Spartans. Let's see if D'Alessandro steals second base. Sam Porozinski reached on error. She had a little pop out, short left field. The shortstop going out, had it, caught it, and then dropped it. Takes the bunt, the runner takes off, easily in with a stolen base. So if they get on, they can run. Fake bunt again allowed the runner to go to second base. Hit in a right center field. In for a base hit. Extra bases. Porozinski around second, heading for third. She's in with a triple. So it's 7-2 with a runner at third. Shot in a right center field by Porozinski for extra bases. Taylor Smaller almost had a base hit. Denninger went behind second base, backpedaling out in the outfield grass, reached over his shoulder and made the catch, took a hit away. Popped up in the short right field. Right fielder coming on, making the play. So St. Mary's gets on the board. Two big errors by Newton South. Kept the inning alive. The big triple by Porozinski brought in another run. We played 3. Newton South 7. St. Mary's 2. Lily Newhall will start an inning for the first time. She come in relief. Rosenhan, the first baseman, she led off the third inning. She's going to lead off the fourth inning as they bat around in that inning. She started that 4 inning with a walk and scored the first run. St. Mary's helped with a big error in the inning, but also with 4 walks. 9 walks in 3 innings. We haven't seen that many walks all year, I don't think, by St. Mary's pitching. In for a strike. Swing and a miss. Down the middle for strike 3. Flint, the right field, is perfect. Walked and scored, singled and scored. Her single was a ground ball to short as Porozinski went down to get it. It hit something, it went bounced and exploded right up into her chest. And she was able to reach. Swing and a miss. Very nice play by Katie O'Neill. Flint dropped down what looked like a perfect bunt. O'Neill hustling in and got it very quickly over to Smaller at first base. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th. Denninger reached on an error when she tried to sacrifice. And last time up, she sacrificed. So she reached the error, but she actually got credit for a sacrifice because he moved the runner up. Down and in for a ball. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ducks under that one. And we got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Pitching low for a ball. So she was ahead of Denninger. Now she's got to come in with a pitch or put her on. Nice job at D'Alessandro going out in the short right field. Diving and making the play right in front of the right fielder. So the first 1-2-3 inning for the Lady Spartans comes in the top of the 4th. No hit batsman, no walks, no errors. St. Mary's looking to crawl back. They trail it 7-2. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Spartans. They scratched out a couple in the 3rd to get back within 7-2. They still got plenty of softball left, but they got to go to work. They only have 2 hits. Both of them came with 2 outs after Christina Nowicki manufactured a run, reaching on an error, 2 stolen bases, and a throwing error. A base hit by D'Alessandro and a triple by Porozinski knocked in the 2nd run, and that made it 7-2. So they look to try and dent the scoreboard and eat into that 5-run deficit yet again here in the 4th, as we're halfway through the ball game. They've got 4 at-bats left, so they've got time, but they're going to start getting the bat on the ball. Marina DiBiasio popped to the shortstop her first trip. in for a strike. Down and away for a ball. Preston hasn't helped. She hasn't walked the batter. Hit foul out of play. And the 2 runs, both of them are unearned because Nowicki reaching on the arrow would have been the 3rd out. So Alessandro and Porozinski wouldn't have batted. The 1-2 pitch. Hit in the short left field, foul. Just pulled it foul. Almost found a spot. Chased the high fastball and swung right through it. Almost looked like she wasn't set. But she chased the high pitch. 5 strikeouts for Penton. Taylor Sullivan flied to right, her 1 trip. Hit foul off to the first base side. Low for a ball. Right back to the pitcher. Sullivan hit that right on the nose and lined it right back. That's either catch it or eat it. Thank God she caught it. You don't want her to get hurt. You can't hit any better than Sullivan just hit it. Katie O'Neill struck out her first time. That was a sure base hit up the middle for Sullivan. Penton made the nice play. Hit to the first baseman. She could have gone to the bag. Instead, she tags out O'Neill running to first base. And the umpire, I'm not sure why he's giving a conversation to Katie O'Neill and now Afton Dean, the coach. O'Neill went down and just kind of protected herself with all the first baseman had to do was go tag the bag. Paige Licata was out talking to the umpire about, she reached out, my runner tried to protect herself from a hard tag, and you're talking to my player when all the first baseman had to do was go tag the first base bag for the easy play. Waited instead to tag the runner, and that's what caused this little ado, if you will. Second 1-2-3 inning for Penton. It comes in the 4th. We're finished 4 here at the Grace Regato Field. 7-2. Newton South over St. Mary's. Top of the order for Newton South. That little to-do at first base. Katie will do what she's supposed to do. She's run right down the line to the first base bag. All the first baseman had to do was just, she had plenty of time to go over and tag the bag, but she went over to the first base line and waited for O'Neill to come down, and then reached out to tag her around waist high, and O'Neill just kind of ran to first base. The contact was made, and he spoke to O'Neill rather than the first baseman. In for a strike. Little struck out, reached on an error, walked and scored. So she's 0 for 2, but she scored a run. Check swing. Nice try by DiBiasio. She had to worry about running into the fence. She ran a long way. She was off the line for a right-hand hitter. Slid and tried to make the catch so she didn't run into the fence. Almost made a very nice play. Wasn't from lack of effort that she didn't. Another foul ball off. Well, the drum and bugle corps is relentless. They were going before this game started. We're in the 5th inning and they're still going. I guess they don't get tired. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Newhall since she came in. Nice to see Rodriguez is okay. She was the one that scored and went down hard, kind of hopped off on one foot, but she's back. She's walked and scored, flied to center, singled in a run and scored. So she's 1 for 2. She scored 2 and knocked in a run. Swing and a miss. 2 quick strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 5th inning. 4 strikeouts for Newhall. Wilbur Thayer walked. Reached center fielder's choice when she tried to bunt and the runner was thrown out trying to score. And then walked with the bases loaded, getting an RBI. So she's 0 for 1 with an RBI. Foul. Quickly 0 and 2. Just foul out of play. Down and away. Oh, they called it a strike. I don't know if they said she swung at it. She strikes out the side. She tried to hold up, I think. It wound up, according to the umpire, going through. So 4 of the last 6 outs have been strikeouts. Newhall's got 5 since coming on in relief. And it's getting a little bit late for St. Mary's. Bottom of the 5th, they trail by 5. Eight, 9, and 1 to face Penton, who has been tough on the mound. She's only allowed 4 base runners. 2 of them were errors. She didn't allow them 2 errors. So Mary's had 4 base runners, an error in the first, Nowicki reached on the error and wound up scoring, and then the two hits back to back to Alessandro and Porozinski for the 2 runs. There's only been 1 ball hit out of the infield, 2 if you count the triple. A fly to right field. Everything else has been a strikeout or a pop-up. The defense for Newton South hasn't had to make a defensive play. A ground ball, throw to first, force it second, try to get a double play, ground balls. St. Mary's hasn't hit any ground balls. The one play in the infield was a bounder right to the first baseman, who caused that little to-do with Katie O'Neill. In for a strike. Jordan Sullivan, the catcher, has struck out swinging. Out in front of that pitch a little bit. Swung right through it. 0-2. Williams for strike 3. She gets Sullivan for the second time. Four out of 5 innings, Penton has started with a strikeout. Lily Newhall has been up once and struck out. Hit in the air. Second baseman coming in. Denninger makes the play. 1 pitch to Newhall is the second out. Christina Nowicki struck out. Reached when a ground ball at third was booted. Stole second, stole third. When they tried to throw her out, they threw it in the left field and she scored the first run. Solid shot, just pulled it foul. Got all of that one. I don't think a loss today would hurt St. Mary's chances of getting a home game, but it could hurt their chances of being a high seed, maybe getting 2 home games. Two in a row out of the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike to the spot in center fielder. High in the air to center field. Almost in her steps. Little the center fielder puts it away. Third 1-2-3 inning for Penton. 2nd in a row. She's retired 7 in a row. St. Mary's is down in the 5th. And they're running out of innings and outs. Newton South 7, St. Mary's 2 at the end of 5. 4, 5, and 6 for Newton South as we start the 6th inning. This is not the St. Mary's team that we've seen all year long. Have to get a quick turnaround from this one. They won't have that long before they start the state tournament. Swing and a miss. Penton, the pitcher, struck out, reached center fielder's choice, and flied to center field. Well, she's been almost unhittable on the mound. She gave up the 2 runs, but they were unearned. High for a ball. Hit foul, out of play. DiBiasio chasing it, ran out of real estate. Off to the right side. 2-2 the count. Pitcher against pitcher here. Little off-speed pitch. She was like at the last second, I think I should probably swing at this. It was way in on the hands. It was almost a slow motion replay. In on the hands, and at the last second, she just kind of stuck the bat out and kind of pushed it down the first base line. It went foul. Low for a ball. Hit in the left field for a base hit. Niccolo gets to it quickly, holds it to a single. Four out of 6 innings, Newton South's got the leadoff hitter on. Throw down a first off the glove of Sullivan. Newell had retired 7 in a row before that base hit by Penton. It's funny, they run for the catcher, they don't run for the pitcher. In for a strike. 2-1 the count. High for a ball. Hit foul to the backstop. The count goes full. Klebnik, the catcher, has walked 3 times. Hit in a right field for a base hit. For the 3rd time in the game, Newton South got the first 2 hitters on. Frasica will be the hitter. Frasica is the hitter, and it's got to be Sister Frasica is the runner at first base. for Klebnik. So 2 on, nobody out. Rashika, the third baseman, got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, getting an RBI. Getting Newton on the South on the board in the first inning. She grounded out second and first and struck out swinging, thrown out at first by the catcher when the pitch was in the dirt. In for a strike. Hit foul off the backstop. Picked that one off her ear. Late swing. Quickly 0-2. Hit foul again. The odds that bat had a duck out of the way of that one. Newhall wound up to throw the pitch, held on to it. It looked like a pop-up to the pitcher. She actually threw it up over her head, behind her. She just lost complete control of the ball. Hit off the foot of the batter in the batter's box. Hit foul again. Nice try. I said nice try. I didn't see anybody make a call, so I thought but the umpire called her out. Great play by D'Alessandro, and a nice play by Taylor Sullivan getting back to the bag. They took a base hit away. It went by the first baseman. D'Alessandro went out almost to the outfield grass, dove, and the same motion threw it to the first base bag, and Sullivan hustled back and got the throw. That's a really nice defensive play. They took a hit away from Frasika, possibly an RBI. So second and third. This is Friedman, who was a pinch runner before. She's hitting for the first baseman, Rosehand. Hits it to second. They only have one play. And that'll bring in a run. So Newton South gets one of those runs back that St. Mary's got. It's now 8-2. Down and in for a ball. 2 outs, a runner at third. Danishko went into play right field as her first at bat. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count. Gets the bunt down. Newhall makes the play. That's a very nice defensive play. You got to buy an eyelash at first base. But Newton South strikes again. They get those 2-1. And the 2 ground balls moved them around. Newhall gives up her first run. First inning, she didn't get a strikeout. We'll move into the bottom half of the 6th. South going a little bit to their bench. Roseanne, who got hit for, is back in at first base. New second baseman is Forrestal. Two, 3, and 4 for St. Mary's. Felicia D'Alessandro popped to first, got a base hit, scored the second run. Well, she's 1 for 2 with a run scored. She stole second and scored on Porozinski's triple. And back-to-back hits are the only 2 hits that St. Mary's has. Petton has retired 7 in a row. Umpire's over talking to St. Mary's coaching staff and their scorekeeper as well, Mrs. Newhall. I don't know if they're questioning something. Newton South coach over there trying to explain it. Whatever it was, they straightened it out. I don't know if there was a question with the batting order or what. They were talking to the scorer in the St. Mary's dugout, Mrs. Newhall. Hit the shot off the shortstop. D'Alessandro will reach on the error. That's the 4th error by Newton South. Sam Porozinski reached on an error and triple to right center field. She combined with D'Alessandro for the second run. Fakes the bunt. Mary's easily steals second base. They found a home stealing second base. I'm not sure what's going on now. Another discussion between the umpires. I'm not sure what they could be discussing. Well, I'm going to be hearing these drums in my head for the next couple of days. They just don't stop. Hit foul off the backstop. Wide for a ball. Hit foul back out of play. Inside for a ball. Up and away for a ball. So an error in the walk put 2 on. First walk given up by Penton. Taylor Smaller popped to second, fly to right. Her pop to second was a nice play by the second baseman, backpedaling and reaching over his shoulder. Hit in the air to center field. Little comes in a few steps towards right center field. Smaller hitting the first pitch for the first out. Marina DiBiasio popped to short, struck out swinging. Hit foul past third. Hit it well. Out in front just enough to pull it by the third base bag foul. Hit foul back and out of play. Hit in the air behind first base. Nice play by the second baseman. As Forrestal, who just came in to play second base, went in behind the first baseman and made the play. Just inside the right field line. 2 up, 2 down. So they get the first 2 hitters on. Now Penton bears down and gets the next 2 out. Taylor Sullivan has flied to right and hit it right on the nose and lined it right to the pitcher. It took about a tenth of a second off the bat to go right back to the pitcher. Thank God she caught it and didn't get hurt. Hit in the air. Long run for the second baseman. Can't get it. The run's going to score. Sullivan hit it on the nose last time and made an out. Now she hits a pop-up. Nobody touched it. It's a base hit for an RBI. D'Alessandro hustling from second scores her second run. Porozinski winds up at third. So a high pop-up, second baseman chasing it. It bounced between the first baseman and second baseman. Nobody touched it, so it can't be an error. I mean, obviously it's a play that should have been made, but you can't give an error if nobody touches it. Sullivan takes off to second base. Up and away for a ball. Slicing it foul the other way. Katie was struck out, bounced to the first baseman. That was that little skirmish we had at first base. The umpire gave Katie O'Neill a talking to. I'm not sure why. High for a ball. Slices it out of play again. Hit off the pitcher, and that's another base hit taken away. And we got a collision again. They're calling the first baseman off the bag. I'm not sure what they're calling. Newton South coach coming out of the dugout talking to the base umpire. And they reversed the call and call her out. There was a collision at first. He called her safe and then changed it to out. The only question would have been asked the plate umpire, was her foot on the base? Because the throw was there. The collision came. I think the umpire thought they might have knocked off the bag. And that's the second time that O'Neill and Roseanne have come together there at first base. So that's the third out. St. Mary's are now down to their last 3 outs. They trail Newton South 8-3 at the end of 6. 9-1-2 as we're getting set to start the 7th and final inning, and I think it's still Sunday. It's been a long game. Even longer with that drum and bugle corps banging in my ears. They've been going all day. They just don't get tired. I wish them the best of luck in their competition. Forrestal is the new second baseman. Swing and a miss. Newhall will start her third inning. Actually, her fourth inning. Just got a piece and fouled it off. Popped out of play. Newell's given up an unearned run. Oh, excuse me, she gave up an earned run. 2 base hits. She struck out 5. Down and away for a ball. She came in the third. And never in a wild pitch scored runs, but they were charged to Pepe. Hit the third. Katie O'Neill makes the play. Newton South was gifted with 9 walks in the first 3 innings. They haven't had any in the last 3. They got a run on a couple of base hits and a couple of groundouts. Nice stop by Sullivan. In for a strike. In the dirt again. Evens the count at 2. Foul out of play. Off-speed pitch way out in front. Nice job by Newhall. Six strikeouts for Lily Newhall. Rodriguez to left fielder walked and scored, flied out, singled in a run and scored, struck out against Newhall. Waves at that pitch. First 3 at-bats were against Pepe. So he scored 2 and knocked in a run in her 3 at-bats. Hit foul out of play. Up and away. Hit to the backstop. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 7th inning. So Newhall goes 4 2/3 innings in relief. Gives up the 1 run, 2 base hits, struck out 7. Walk 1. St. Mary's down to their last 3 outs and they need a miracle. 8-3 Newton South. And this will officially put Newton South into the tournament. They'll be 9-9. They'll qualify with the 50% rule. They won't have to worry about that idiotic Sullivan rule. Denton's been tough. She gave up 2 unearned runs in the 3rd. She gave up an unearned run in the 5th. She's only given up 3 base hits. The 6th inning was the only inning she didn't strike a batter out. She's got 6. And the 6th inning was the only inning she walked a batter. And that was Porozinski for the only walk that she's given up. An error extended the inning in the third. Actually got St. Mary's their first run, and that extended the inning, and they were able to get their first 2 hits and score the second run, but it was unearned because the previous error would have ended the inning. And then a leadoff error in the 6th, followed by a walk. An RBI single by Taylor Sullivan. But the run was unearned because the error would have, Sullivan never would have hit. They would have got the third out. So 8-9-1 for St. Mary's. Jordan Sullivan, Lily Newhall, Christina Nowicki, the 3 hitters. Solid shot into left field for a base hit. Jordan Sullivan got all of that one and ripped it into left field. And they get a runner in for her. William Newhall has struck out, popped up. Squares the bunt, pushes it foul. Obviously not looking for a sacrifice, looking for a base hit. Top of the order on deck. Again, you got to be bunting for a base hit because the sacrifice, you don't want to give up a run. You're down 5. You need base runners. She wasn't running like she was bunting for hits. She was running like she was sacrificing. Out at second base. The runner went in standing up, and they got a tag on her. So the pinch runner gets thrown out. They've been running all day. Didn't bother if she slides, the throw is high. High for a ball. Foul. Hit in the left field for a base hit, so that throw at second is a little bit big. Should be 2-1 with nobody out. Christina Nowicki struck out. Reached an error, stole 2 bases, and scored on a throwing error. Flied to center field. She's 0 for 3, but she scored a run. Pops it into right field. The right fielder backed up, kind of slipped and went over her head. Newhall goes to third. Nowicki into second, and how big is that throw out at second now? Nowicki gets a base hit because the right fielder never touched it. So instead of a run in, nobody out, and the tying run on deck, it's an out with second and third. Felicia D'Alessandro popped to the first baseman, took a nice play to make the play. Pops it foul out of play. She got a base hit and scored a run, and Risonera and scored a run. So she's been on base twice. She's 1 for 3. She scored 2 of the 3 runs. Tried to hold up and couldn't. Swing and a miss. St. Mary's down to the last out. Sam Porozinski has been on base 3 times. Reached on an error, tripled in a run, walked. Coach out to talk to the troops on the mound. Down and away for a ball. In for a strike. Wide for a ball. St. Mary's had 3 hits coming into this inning. They got 3 hits in the inning. But they were just too far behind to make it work. High for a ball. In for a strike. Payoff pitch up and coming. So Sam Porozinski, the Spartan shortstop, reaches and hits it foul off the backstop. Hit behind second base is going to drop for a base hit. Now, hustling back. There was no recovering first base. Porozinski was taking off, thinking the throw was going to the plate. The pitcher cut it off. They had her dead between first and second, but everybody was looking to cut the throw off to the plate. She was able to get back to first base. So she's got her second hit. She's got 2 RBI. He almost ran into the third out. Eight to 5. Hit in a left center field for a base hit. They're saying the runner home. She's going to score from first. Porozinski. The tying run is at home plate. Marina DiBiasio has popped up twice and struck out. How big was that throw out at second base on the steal? It would now be 8-7, and the winning run would be at home plate. So they spotted Newton South 7 runs. Now they're trying to make a frantic comeback. They're down to their last out. Wouldn't a base hit here be interesting? Swing and a miss. We told they had 3 hits coming in. They got 5 hits in the inning. Hit off the pitcher. They can't make the play. DiBiasio gets a base hit. The winning run is at home plate. DiBiasio has to steal second base. Taylor Sullivan is the hitter. She's got 1 hit and she lined to the pitcher. They throw it back to the pitcher and let it go. All of a sudden, the tying runs are in scoring position. A base hit here would tie the game up. Chased that high fastball. She looked like she was trying to win it with that swing. Sullivan is the 8th hitter in the inning. Up and away for a ball. Hit in here to left field, and that's going to do it. So Newton South survives a rally. St. Mary's actually had the winning run at home plate after trailing 7-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd. They come all the way back. They got 5 hits in the inning. Seven strikeouts for Penton. She'll hang on. She only had 3 hits going into the inning. They got 5 hits in the last inning. And Newton South will hold on. So Paige Carr's got to be happy that the kids didn't quit, kept coming back. But they got to change a lot of things going on in the early going, where they 9 walks in the first 3 innings to go along with 3 errors. And Newton South hangs on. They had that 7-0 lead going into the bottom of the 3rd. They added a run in the 6th. They got 1 in the 1st on 3 walks and a hit batsman. They got, without a base hit, they scored 2 in the 2nd. There were 2 walks, 2 errors. They scored 4 in the 3rd inning. They only got 2 base hits. There were 4 walks and an error. Lily Newhall kept them off the board until the 6th when they got another run to make it 8. St. Mary's got a run in the 3rd. Nowicki reached on an error, stole 2nd, stole 3rd. When they tried to throw her out, they threw it in the left field. She scored. D'Alessandro got a base hit, and then Porozinski tripled. At the time, those were the only 2 base hits. Gave him 2 runs. It was 7-2 at the end of 3. 8-2. St. Mary 8-2 going in the bottom of the 6th. D'Alessandro reached on an error, stole 2nd, And with 2 outs, Taylor Sullivan got a big base hit to knock in the runs. She wished she got another base hit here, might have tied the game up. She got the RBI, made it 8-3. St. Mary's got 3 in the last inning. They had a runner thrown out, the only runner thrown out, trying to steal second base. That was huge. They would have had the tying run at third base in the last inning. But Sullivan got a base hit. Newhall got a base hit. Nowicki got a base hit. 2 runs scored on Porozinski's single. A double by Smaller scored a run. A single by DiBiasio kept it alive. Second and third, 2 outs. The winning run at home plate. Sullivan got under it just enough to lift it to the left fielder, and that was it. St. Mary's loses for the 4th time. 8-6. They almost made it all the way back, but came up short. And officially, Newton South will be in the tournament as they finish their season at 9-9. For St. Mary's, Nowicki was on base twice, scored 2. D'Alessandro had a base hit. Risa an error, scored 2. Porozinski was on base 4 times. An error, a triple for an RBI, a walk, knocked in 2 and scored a run. Smaller had an RBI double. DiBiasio had a base hit. Sullivan had an RBI single. Jordan Sullivan had a base hit. Lily Newell had a base hit and scored a run. But they just come up short, 8-6. D'Alessandro also made a terrific defensive play at second base. But those first 3 innings were nightmares. 9 walks, 3 errors, and they virtually gave Newton South 7 runs. They got 7 runs on only 2 base hits in the first 3 innings, and they were able to hold on for an 8-6 win. So St. Mary's will drop to 16-4. Newton South, congratulations. They go to 9-9 and they qualify for the state tournament. And now St. Mary's has got to go to work fixing up the mistakes they made here in the first 3 innings to get ready for the state tournament. And Newton South is going on an up note into the tournament. St. Mary's a little bit of a downer. They were looking to win 2 or 3 or 4 in a row going into the tournament. Now they've got to turn things around to get ready for the state tournament up and coming. So 8-6, the final score, Newton South over St. Mary's. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.